S&S is known for making cams for many types of motors for many types of reasons. Scott Chauval here is the VP of Product Development. We've caught up with him today to find out exactly how S&S develops all the camshafts that they have. Scott, give us a little background on how you guys actually develop your cams.
Well, Wally, we really have the full circle here for cam development. We start with usually a computer modeling system that does two things. One, it models the entire valve train, all the parts, the push rods, the rock arms, the valve springs, the cam shape, and make sure that all the harmonics are there. So we can get the most lift, the most area under the curve per se as possible with the cam. We've also have a computer model set up to do performance evaluations so that when once we have a lobe designed, then we can get it in the right timing and the right duration to make sure that it does the best job it can at whatever RPM or motor combination that we want to design for. Once we have that, we have downstairs in manufacturing, the complete manufacturing process. We make all of our cams in-house from bar stock, fully heat treat them. Well, the heat treating is an out plant, but everything else is done here. And on top of the line equipment. This stuff's relatively new. It's a Landis grinder, add cold checker. We have everything we need to make the cams. So then we can get prototypes up here, and I've done it in less than a day actually, which is really amazing. Normally I don't get that lucky, but we're able to actually, if all the ducks are in a row, design, make, and test a cam within a day.
Wow.
And again, that's all the stars got to align in
Right.
room in production, but that works pretty well. From there, we not only have 3 spintrons at our disposal, and a spintron's a valve train dyno basically. We can install that cam in a motor. The motor goes on the spintron, and then this valve train dyno spins it to any RPM we want. We've got a laser positioning sensor to look for valve float or bounce. We can look at the high-speed photography on the valve springs, see if there's any flutter or anything going on there. So that really tells us if what we did on the computer modeling from the harmonic side is correct. Once we're happy with that, then that same cam can go in a motor and go on either a chassis dyno or an engine dyno or a street bike and see if we got the horsepower and the noise part of it situated. And then of course back and iterate the whole process over again if we need to. But this whole program, or this whole ability that we have in-house, coupled with 50 years of motor building experience at S&S Cycle, really gives us an edge that it's exciting. With some of the cams we've done lately are just knockout designs, really focusing on where the customers and the riders need that power.
Okay, Scott, you were talking about cam profiles and the fact that you use computer modeling. I think NASA when I think that. What exactly is computer modeling to you?
Well, an example I guess would be what we did with our new 551 camshaft. The computer system, when Roy sets up the model, he has to tell it what the engine looks like, and then he tells it what RPM what RPM range we want to make the power in. So for this instance, knew we were doing a touring cam. We knew we wanted to work around a stock header system that the 08 and earlier bikes had, that kind of weird stock Harley header system. So he put that in as an input into the computer system, and then he set up a range of an RPM range that we wanted to make torque. Then he lets the computer play with different durations for the lobes and different center lines for the lobes. Basically different durations and timing.
Right.
And he gives it a pretty wide range to find things in. And then the computer just tries one after another, different combinations, and it keeps track of where the best part is. Pretty soon the computer leads you to where it says, this combination of duration and timing will give the optimum power that you've specified. It may take a couple hours, it may take a couple of days. I mean, it can be thousands of combinations that the computer simulates. And it does this not just with Roy's computer, but we have a bank of servers downstairs with 20 different processors, 20 different separate computers with, I think they're each a dual processor. A lot of computing power goes into this. And it leads us, especially in the case of the 551, to a type of cam that we never would have thought of doing with conventional wisdom. You get your blinders on, you've been doing this for 20 years, I know how to make a cam, I know exactly where it should be, but the computer doesn't have those biases. It looks for the best combinations, and it did take us to a cam that when we first looked at the numbers didn't look like they made sense, but you put it in the motor and you go ride it, wow, what a nice cam.
Pretty cool. So if you're looking to make your bike run like a rocket, S&S cams made in America.
more information on the products featured here, please head to our website, denniskirk.com.